Are you ready for some mole? A mole night party.
Growing up the youngest of 5 boys in a Mexican household means I got to see a lot of things. I've experienced my share of shouting matches, lunchtime brawls, and fistfights, but my most treasured memories revolve around my mom's cooking. This show is an excuse to showcase my mom's love of hospitality, my way of tricking artists over to enjoy her food. My name is Freddy Bustamante, and this is COUP-Mida at my mom's. Today's guest is none other than Michael Joseph Garza, poet extraordinaire and contributing writer for the COUP. He's my funny and incredibly intelligent friend who's had his fair share of Mexican food over the years.
I love sandwiches. Like, sandwiches are the basis of what I like
That's your
eating.
food pyramid? That's the foundation?
Yeah. My brother once said that his favorite food is potato. And his favorite food group is potato. And I was like, okay, I kind of can see that.
Well, it's a good thing we're not having sandwiches today.
Exactly. My mom wasn't a huge cook. And so we did a lot of ordering out. We did a lot of takeout. I think at this age, I'm finally to the point where it's like, we could have tacos, or we can have, like I can always have tacos just as like a base level of love.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of comales too, which was cool, like the silver dollar tacos, which I'm not cool with anymore, but no offense, comales. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
They were so small, dude. They were so small. Like, we know the value of a taco now. Like, we know what's
like,
up.
come on,
like,
man. That was like 10 cents.
Right.
That was less than a silver dollar.
Right.
Bad jokes aside, time to introduce my mom. Her name is Modesta, and she grew up in the Mexican state of Guerrero on the southern end of the country. Today, it carries the baggage of being known more for decades of violence and the warm and hardworking people that live there. But my parents strive to keep that identity alive in both the genealogy and generations of cooking traditions.
Ya preparado todo, pues a comer un rico mole. Los espero. Vamos a llevar un pavito para el molito. Sale más rico con el pavo que con el pollo. Le da otro sabor, más sabroso. Lleva chile pasilla, chile morita. Lleva un pedacito de canela dorada. Tiene un puñito de ajonjolín, pimienta. Está un poquito de mejorana. Lleva otro puñito de tomillo también. 2, 3 almendras. Semilla. Tiene que tener cáscara. Esta no tiene, pero también se puede hacer sin cáscara.
Making mole poblano takes some dedication. The time it takes for my mom to select just the right type of chilies or pumpkin seeds is a testament to her love of food preparation.
A jengibre se corta una ramita chiquita, un pedacito y se dora. Es muy sabroso y es muy saludable para las defensas del cuerpo. Es pasta mole te lo loapan. So, se agarran 2, 3 cucharas, se disuelven en el caldo y son ricas para el sabor. Es que piensan que este es el mole ya y lo disuelven en caldo y dicen ya hice mole. Pero no, este es pasta, el sabor pasta. Esta ya viene quizá más preparado que este, pero este es pasta. Este quizá le pueden preparar así, comérselo, pero este no.
Let's take a little step back down memory lane. You are half Mexican
Yes.
and half Italian.
Dead on.
Tell me about being a little half Mexican boy.
Growing up half Mexican and clearly white has been like this weird inverted journey. It always felt like I was outside of both of the cultures that I could easily subscribe to. So it was like, oh, you're Mexican. Oh, because your last name, my name is Michael Joseph Garza. You just don't fit easily into any of the molds. But I subscribe and was raised pretty much as a Latino, listening to Johnny Canales in every Saturday morning, but alongside Al Green.
But it's funny being born here and being Mexican, because we didn't say that we were American. Like, even to this day, like, people ask me, what do you consider yourself? I still say I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
But going to visit family in Mexico, you don't know how un-Mexican you are until you are around some Mexicans.
Till you in it, yeah.
Until you're in it.
It was it was the best thing in the world because I got a chance to see, for me personally, what it was like to be on the outskirts of culture, on the edge of belonging.
So esto los voy a tostar ahorita. Los voy a empezar a tostar aquí, a dorar en el aceite para darle otro sabor al mole. Este chile guajillo es para el sabor y el color también para al mole. El ancho tiene un sabor agrio, medio agrio y dulce.
My mom was a very interesting cook. She baked really, really well, and I could probably say she only cooked a couple things like super, super well. So we were raised on like stuffed shells, lasagna, and your basic like everyday kinds of pasta, all types of like random noodles.
So but you never really grew up on like home cooked Mexican food. Those would be fun, man.
I mean, we had like asada, we had like barbecues and things like that. I mean, yeah, that was where it was like, yeah, you're sort of like, you have asada cooking on the grill and you have onions out there and you have beer going all over, and that was it. But that's what I knew as like home cooked meal. Like my grandma was always making like rice and beans, things like that. Once in a while, like enchiladas, but mole.
Be honest.
We have a tough relationship.
What happened?
We're questionable.
What happened? Who did this?
Todo esto se dora, bien doradito con los chiles, para que se muelan después. La abuelita cocinaba y yo de chamaca me fijaba. Pero después yo lo traté de hacer, me quedaba mal, no de buen sabor. A veces le pasaba de estos chiles, le pasaba, salía agrioso. Pero fui aprendiendo y ahora ya sé las medidas, más o menos. Para que tenga el molino, que lo muela en el molino porque es mejor, más sabor. Y sale más sabroso el mole moliéndolo aquí en el molino. Sale la pasta ya y después ya se guisa. En México así lo molíamos para hacer el mole, los moles de casamiento, de 15 años. Y sale más sabroso. Cuando uno quiere un mole rico así.
So one of my favorite things in the world is chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love it. And so when I found out as a young kid that they were trying to put chocolate into some sort of like regular meal
Concoction.
and just like domesticate chocolate, I wasn't about that. Like I like my chocolate.
So
like,
you went into your
free.
mole experience. Your mind was already made up.
It was kind of made up, yeah.
It was fighting uphill.
It definitely was
snowing.
Because when somebody told me it's chocolate, I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, why would you ever put chocolate? Why would you ever put chocolate into a soup? Like, this is not Willy Wonka. like what? You don't just get to like bathe in chocolate.
El chocolate es sabor para el mole, pero no es lo único, porque con que falte un condimento, se siente luego el sabor, se siente que no está preparado completo.
My mom's a great cook, but I will tell you the truth.
Go for it.
At 12 years old, I didn't like mole either, so I can't even fault you with that.
Okay.
It's only in the last like maybe 4 years
Yeah.
that my taste buds have shifted.
Have refined.
My palate has cleansed,
And now
and it is an upper echelon, like it's upper crust. So I'm hoping
Okay.
I'm hoping that your tongue is upper crusted too.
It is. I've been eating 86% cacao chocolate. And
I don't even think I'm that crusty. I can't.
En México, mi abuelita lo hacía de pollo, o cuando había fiestas de casamientos, 15 años, bodas, lo hacía con pavo, con pípilos. Eran grandes como estos. Los criaba mi abuelita. Mira, lleva cebolla, ajos, para que no esté choquía la carne. Pero para más seguro que uno no tiene tiempo aquí, Se muelen los comistrajos, el chile. Y se le pone caldo. Todo lo que tiene tanto pollo es más sabor. Entre más caldo de pollo, más sabor es. Porque se espesa todo. Para que se dore para el mole. Mejor tiesa porque se dora más fácil. O sea, húmeda tarda más para dorarse. Espesa el mole, tiene que ser espeso. Si no sería un chile nomás. O sea que si lo echo todo, no sería mole, sería chile nomás guisado. Tiene que estar bien finito y espeso. Chocolate, abuelita. Para que le dé sabor. Un sabor rico al chocolate, mole con chocolate.
I ate a banana and some coffee today, and so my body is really wondering what I'm gonna give it next. And I'm about to give it a substance that I've never liked my entire life. So it's gonna be a pretty big challenge. We'll see how my body responds. Me and my body have been, working things out. It's getting better. I mean, it's a relationship, there's ups and downs. But I think we're in a good place. I think we're in a really good place. I'm not ready for this.
I'm not really ready for this either. I'm just trying. I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest to be in the moment with you because
I'm ready for the moment with you. I'm not ready for the moment with the food done.
Ay,
No sé quién quieres, mucho.
mami playing, yeah.
Es mucho.
Mucho.
Muchas gracias.
Ahorita vemos.
But this is the challenge. This is the challenge, and we've accepted it. Gracias, amor.
Okay.
Gracias.
¿Quieres tortilla?
Sí. Okay. Holy God, thank you for this food. Thank you for my friend Mike. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Again, no, I'm not telling. Don't.
I know you're warning me, man.
I'm warning you.
But there's no fear in love right here.
I know you're trying to quote scripture, but you paraphrase.
I'm all
the heck
about
out
proof
of that.
texting, dude. All about it. It's pretty great.
You like it?
I keep waiting for chocolate to come, and it's not coming. And I like that. That it's hiding its chocolate nature.
It shouldn't taste.
Much like our sin nature. You know what I'm saying? We
So
hide
this
it.
is sinful. Is what you're-
No. I'm saying there's a lot of theology happening in this plate. Because you told me it was chocolate. You admitted what it was, but itself, it can't admit it right now. To me. Not yet. Until you really discover. Okay, there's some
Where's this
chocolate.
going?
There's some chocolate. That's the thing, is when the pastor's preaching, you don't ask him where's it going. You don't just stand up in the middle of it. Or just let him go. You just accept.
Come over it.
Dude, this is really good.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah. Feel it.
My dad told me.
Yeah.
I'm talking to him. I've met all these people and they're always so surprised that Mexicans eat with their hands. And I tell them we don't eat tacos at home. We eat with tortillas and we rip it. We rip little triangles and we grab it.
Yeah.
And eat like this.
And you get little bites, yeah.
Right?
That's usually the way I eat.
My dad laughed at me.
Dang.
He said, "Son, they have spoons and forks in Mexico."
Rocked. Rocked.
Try it if you want, bro. Oh yeah.
Lo pongo ahí.
Right there.
Por si les gusta, va con el mole.
This goes with this. Normally it's pre-limed before, and it sits in it. It just does something to the onions.
Ooh.
So basically, onions, lime, and some salt,
Yeah.
and you eat it along with this. It gives it like a nice tartness. And the interesting thing, nobody really knows this, but
Yeah.
old woman fingers tend to make food taste better. The fingers get right in there.
They never cut their nails and it just kind of sits under there, doesn't it? There's this idea of like Epicureanism, which, as far as I know the definition to be, is this love of this following to its greatest end, this pleasure in like intaking and consuming. I feel like poetry has a lot to do with that, because people would ask like, so what's the point of poetry? So what does poetry do? Like, what function does it serve? and you could say that probably about a lot of arts. Like, well, what good is music for? That interplay of like consuming and giving and consuming and spending and consuming and spending shows up in a lot of ways in my writing, but probably not as often as I wanted to. I don't know, there's certain acts that it's hard to write about and it's hard to talk about eating because the act almost seems unconscious to us. I've written poems where people are talking over food, but it's hard to talk about the food itself. Or it's fun to mention it in light, like in passing, but because I almost feel like it's such a powerful element that it's almost like if you touch on it, you can only touch lightly, or you have to dive all the way into it.
Mike is a layered dude. He's been published as both a poet and journalist, as well as performed and spoken publicly as a spoken word artist and in the social justice realm. I trust and appreciate his perspective on art and artists.
Poetry, what I feel is like it's been relegated to this like kind of out there art. Oh, you like poetry. Oh, you're a poet. Oh my God, you must be sensitive. You must be super caring. Like you really care about like detail, right? Like that's what poetry is all about. It's like, choosing every word specifically. Like that's what poetry is about, right? And part of me got so frustrated with all the categories of Christian poet, of Chicago poet, of Chicano poet. And I think that's where some growth comes, is after you've inhabited these platforms, these titles, what's gonna happen? Who are you after you throw them away? Or after they become part of the compilation of who you are, not just the supreme title. Because my supreme title is Son of God. But now that I'm all those things, what am I? So that's what has been really difficult. And it sort of happened alongside me becoming a husband. So it's like, now part of my identity is that I'm going to permanently be giving myself to another person. Which in my poetry was the same way I was behaving in real life, where I was just kind of giving myself to myself and sharing myself very sparingly with other people. And now it's like, no, sharing is now part of the whole thing. Like, more than sharing, sacrificing is like inherent in the system of my life now. So it's been a huge challenge. I love meals that are like this, that have like the meat and the protein for sure, but like that have some sort of like crazy sauces on them.
Do you want more?
I do want more. I'll have more of both.
With the rice too?
Okay, good.
Or just the meat and the
Just the meat and
and the sauce?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Because my soul is finally tired of the way disorders court each other, and philosophies find apartments too close so their complexes contort each other, then their morals report each other, they backfire, they backstab. And
a lot of artists bug me because they so emphasize their child of godness that their art only becomes, it isn't marked by the fact that they are a child of God. It only becomes stating over and over again that they're a child of God. And it's like, that is a beautiful thing. And it is literally the thing. Like, it is of imperative importance that I understand that we understand that. Like, it is crucial to living. But what happens after that? What are you freed to? What are you freed for? All those bits of imagination and all the power behind what can be created after we're freed people, that was the thing that I was always after, right? Yeah. But I was trying to conjure that. I was trying to put the cart before the horse. I am notorious for biting off more than I can chew. I'm also notorious for going into the hardest thing, thinking that if I accomplish the hardest thing, well then all the easy stuff, all the basic stuff is just basic stuff. As a Christian in the arts as well, what you find is that most artists don't necessarily care that you're a Christian. They care about what you're saying. And Christians end up caring so much about them still being Christians. And so their saying, my own saying, I can speak for myself. I feel like after I became a Christian, part of me wanted to like throw it on the altar and be like, I sacrifice it to you, God. It's all yours. Take it all. And yet, although it all is his and like he gave it to me, but it was like giving a gift back to your father. It's like, no, I gave you this gift, like to use, in fact. You honoring me is not giving it back to me or killing it. Like, that's not the point.
Do you remember the first poem you ever wrote? Let me take a step back. I remember the first poems I ever wrote. I was like in 4th grade. And I was super into where the Shel Silverstein, like where the sidewalk ends, and
Yeah.
that one with the attic light, the dude's face on the cover, and it was like
I think it's literally Light in the Attic.
light in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super into Dr. Seuss, and I used to read stuff. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my poems were very much
Were
plagiarized. They were plagiarized. They were plagiarized. I wrote books of plagiarized poems.
You wrote books of plagiarism. You gave them to friends. Distributed as your own.
I did. It's a shame. It's a shame I have to live with.
Damn, dude. No. That was me too. So I would imitate song lyrics back in the day. So it was bad. It was like I would rewrite song lyrics. It was terrible.
Like you would replace the days with me's or the I's with he's.
Or just like whole bars. It would be like theirs, and then I'll continue mine or something. Like it was terrible.
Like no one would be able to know either, right? Like no one ever listened to that song.
You come to find out later on in life that imitation is one of the first forms of learning. So it's like,
And I don't feel so bad.
you don't? No, dude, you're innocent. Come on. My first poem that I ever wrote was for my great grandma, who I never met on my mom's side. Her name was Gertrude. I remember finding out that she passed away, and for some reason being completely crushed by knowing that somebody that should have meant something to me could not mean anything to me. I also remember as a kid, my mom was understanding that I was like getting into words and books and things like that. So there was this offer that came in the mail to have your poem published in this like collection. It was like totally a money grab, right? Just pay us $30, that's it, and your poem gets published in a journal. And it was like your most basic, like so much love to give and no one to give it to. Like every night I stay, like it was just like every night I stay up thinking about you, like that type of thing. And when I look back at it now,
it was real though, right?
it was real as hell. Like it was completely from my soul. But I look back on it now and I'm like, damn, like that was my intro to poetry, was somebody like scamming me. You know, it was like somebody hustling me.
But you can tell people
kinda
that
crazy.
you were published at the age of 11. Was it 11?
I think it was around there. Yeah. Good guess. Good guess.
Spot on. Tell my mom what you just said about.
Está muy bien.
Qué bueno que le gustó.
Gracias.
Sí.
You made me a fan. Mama Bustamante, Freddie Bustamante, and Papa Bustamante.
Hey guys, this is Freddie Bustamante, and I am the creator of COUP-Mida My Mom's. I am also the creator of The Coup, a series of interactive arts books. They're full of cool drawings, dope poetry, music, and short stories, and it's all interactive. Visit the site for more information. And while you're at it, download the free booster pack number 1. I said it's free, so you're obligated to get it. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, don't forget to oh my gosh. I would say subscribe to you right now, but I'm having a really hard time saying that word, so please do that when you are watching this channel. Thank you.